All right, guys, back with a rummage sale pickup video. Let's talk about it. No particular order as it is just here. This is day one. A lot of this stuff will be up on Whatnot. We'll get that link hopefully posted soon. It'll be posted on Whatnot, some on eBay, and some on Facebook. But some of this is also for us. Picked up these things. This was toward the last of the sale. I think these are free skates. That's what they're called. I'm really excited about these. I actually had these in my... I thought they were the Wiggle ones. Maybe they're not the Wiggle. I don't know. I gotta, like, dig into these a little bit. But I got these for $5. Really excited about this. I may learn how to do it. I may not. If we do learn how to do it, I'm sure we'll get it on camera, so this will be kind of cool. And I've come across some of these lately, and this was in a McDonald's. One of the last sales. We hadn't seen any McDonald's toys.
I think this is Small Soldiers.
Oh, really? What's that from? That's
I think
from...
it's Small Soldiers. But that is from Anastasia.
Yeah, okay.
How much are your McDonald's toys? 25 cents. I'll take this. This is Small Soldiers. There's any other ones?
Oh, Phil and Will.
No.
It's kind of cool.
That?
Yeah. I don't know.
Cents.
What is this one? Yeah. Toy Story.
Yeah, grab that.
Might as well go to $1, right?
I want to go through these, but pretty sure this is the one from Burger King when the movie came out, and looked on the bottom of it and sure as shit. Actually, I think I used AI, to be honest. I think because I thought it did say Burger King, but I used AI and I took a picture of it and it said Small Soldiers, so that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I used AI today more than the AI on the phone. It worked phenomenal. Cheyenne actually picked this one out. So they were $4 for $1. So we got, I think we actually got 8 of them. We got Phil and Lil. We like Nickelodeon and stuff like that. We got Scooby Doo because at this point we were just kind of hunting for them. We had more than 4 but less than 8 that we really wanted. So we got this. I thought this was really cool. I'm hoping this cleans up well. I'm really thinking what we are gonna do is on Whatnot, we're going to have shows just for McDonald's toys, because I buy a ton of McDonald's toys in complete sets, and we'll have a bunch of them that we'll be able to get rid of, and I really think that's something we'll do. Really think that's probably going to be the move. We'll have used ones, new ones, so I have a ton of them, and we'll just, we'll fire them off. But, so some of these cool ones are really cool to get. I like that. That one is one I will probably keep. Got this one. This one was the last one. One of the last ones. I do love how it goes like this. And then... And this is from Anastasia. Picked up a little Hamburglar from McDonald's. Again, that's going to be on the Whatnot one. I won't keep that. And the last but not least... Oh, sorry. They had 2 more. This is from Hunchback of Notre Dame. I always liked the little balls. And I think this was a sports set. If I remember correctly, I think it was Burger King. And then 20 questions. And this was in the 25-cent bin as well. So we got all of those for $2. And hopefully most of these will go on Whatnot, or something is a lot or something. But 20 questions alone will get sold, and it'll be worth it. Picked that up. I'm going to talk about this really quickly. Picked this guy up. This was one of our last sales, and I felt kind of like I had a ton of work, like 911 happened today, but Cheyenne kind of handled this for the most part. But I think we got this for $20.
Yeah.
$20, and then there was something else we paid $3 for, right? From them.
The dog stuff.
This. Yeah.
Yeah, no deals on this.
No deals. I didn't, but that was me because I kind of felt because I was rude because I was on my phone at the middle of the sale, which I hate to do, but it was just work was a nightmare today.
For Miss Puppy.
Pick this up. So this one's going to be, I will clean this up really good. But got this, and then this, which is an outdoor grill thing. Cheyenne's needed something for the Blackstone, and I think this will be perfect, although it is a little bit lighter than I was originally thinking this was really good deal. Like, I thought this was like, whew, and then I felt it, and I was like, oh, it is lighter.
I am worried about it blowing away. I am worried about a little bit of that, but we'll see the Blackstone. Maybe we'll put some stuff on it. We'll figure it out. Picked this guy up. I love these old board games. Anyway, I need this.
Silly pin.
I also thought about getting that.
There's a bow.
Yeah, I thought about that. I gotta look at that too. I love these my first games. I think they're awesome. I think they're really well done, and they just don't make games like this like they did. I actually had this, but I wouldn't want this if it wasn't boxed. I wouldn't want it if it wasn't boxed. So the box alone was worth it for me because it'll go on my board game shelf on the retro section, and I really like this old school box style, the art style in the game. This isn't a game I'm particularly happy that I would ever play, but to have in the collection. It'll be really cool when I complete that set, and I think I'm like 2 more away or something. I ask everybody, hey, I have any video games? And we have a few people who may or may not be contacting us tomorrow. We'll see. I never really trust in that, but whatever. We'll see what kind of happens. But this guy I was talking with about video games, and I think what some people struggle is on the negotiation part, right? Like I bring up video games to see if they have video games. But there will either be one of 2 answers, right? There'll either be no, then it doesn't matter, or there will be yes. But sometimes you'll get the, no, I'm not selling my stuff, and then you get into a conversation, right? And that's when it becomes fun, right? Because then you're talking about stuff and yada, yada, yada. Well, I was talking with him, and then Cheyenne was kind of picking up some of this stuff and looking at it, and we got, anyway, here's what we got. So we got, I'm going to go this way.
Yeah, you had a long conversation with that guy.
That was a long one. We were talking about Turbo. I tried to get him to sell his TurboGrafx 16. He had a bunch of stuff I was trying to buy. Got these. I think we paid $4 for them. Was it a good deal? I don't know. I actually didn't look these up. To be honest, I was kind of having a conversation with the guy, and I was like, whatever. And then he also gave me this stuff. Well, this. And he gave this for, I think it was $8 total, right?
Yeah.
And it's like frozen stuff, and I don't know exactly what we'll do with this, but I know frozen stuff is always wanted, whether it's by our nieces or nephews. Somebody wants frozen, or somebody will buy the frozen. It will not go to waste. And then, as we get all the way to the car, right, and something didn't feel right. And I was like, Cheyenne, let's get out of the car. And I never do that. Like, once I leave a sale, it's very, 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 very rare for me to ever go back. Unless, like, I can think of maybe 3 times that I went back. Actually went back. Like, not because, like, I had to go get more money from the ATM, but, or, like actually was like, nope, you won the negotiation, I'm going back. Or we got close enough in the middle where I got back. Well, this was a time I didn't lose a negotiation. But I saw it, and I negotiated in my head very, very quickly, and I was like, something's not right. I need to go back and look at that Peppa the Pig stuff. Peppa stuff is hot. So, picked this house up. And this, I don't know exactly what it is. Pop that thing back in there, yeah. But it's a play set. It all works. And then a bunch of figures. I'm not going to pull them all out, but a bunch of figures. And they're all Peppa the Pig. And again, nieces, nephews, things selling, whatever. This will go to use. Especially because it's actually a pretty cool set, and I think Peppa the Pig is also pretty popular. From a like a collecting aspect too. So we'll see. Anyway, I offered him. Oh, what did I offer him, Cheyenne? Do you remember? He offered it to me for 20. He said it's $20.
You
crazy.
offered him 15.
Yeah, and he took 15. We walk up to this sale, right? And I'm looking through all this stuff, and there was some nice stuff there, and I'm looking, and I find this guy, right? And I was like, I bet it's going to be like $10, right? So I asked her the price, and she said $3. Immediately, I knew that her prices were going to be good, right? Unfortunately, I just needed what we got, and Cheyenne got a masher.
Yes, potato masher. You didn't know what that was.
I knew it was potato masher. For $1. I got the hydro flask and the extra top, so if I want to change out the top here,
I didn't even see you got the extra top.
And this. That was pretty nice. I actually really like that one. I got that one for $3. I picked these up, so these shelves, I think, are those exact shelves on a smaller level. I'm pretty sure, and I use those plastic shelves
everywhere. No. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. 3.
Don't forget those
6, 7,
up there.
8, 9, 10, 11.
In the office.
The office, I think we use them.
Tyler's
Tyler has
room.
them. We use these things for everything. I think these are the smaller version, but it's good to have options. And I think we were only down to like 4 or 5 left in the bundle that I had. So, and there's some stuff that I do want to put up. If you saw any of our other videos, The Fairly Odd Parents, that's going to go on. I don't know if it'll be one of these, but it will be one of those. So, these will come in handy for something. And she wanted $2 for those. Then, Cheyenne points this out. And this is an iPod Classic 30 gigabyte. I don't know if it works. I got it for $5. So all this happened on the back half. Well, now you get to our first, 3 purchases, and then I'll show the big daddy at the end. But we go to like 8 rummages. They weren't open. We were actually starting to get frustrated. I was really frustrated. I think we were both frustrated. We finally pull up to a sale, and they had some toys that were decently priced. I don't know for sure. Both Godzilla. I mean, this is Godzilla too. I don't know anything about Godzilla, but
75 cents.
Well, this was 75 cents. This was $3. We gave him $4 because I didn't want the quarter.
Why did you need those?
This goes for the 100. I don't know. I didn't like the one on eBay, which people can list whatever they want. But Godzilla is huge right now. And it was funny because I had just talked about with a guy at another rummage sale about how Godzilla toys were increasing in market. Just talked about it. And I have a story about that house too. But I was literally, and we ended up going in his basement. Stay tuned. But I was talking to him, and we were literally talking about how Godzilla toys have skyrocketed. And then the next sale, I see this. And I don't know a ton about Godzilla, but I do know that the stuff trades in well at some of the local stores, and I do know that people love the Godzilla stuff, and it's been increasing. And I have a guy down there who normally trades it in for something at his store, whether it's McDonald's toys or Smalls that I'm looking for or whatever. So I'll keep that, or I'll look at that. But that I got that for 75 cents. And then this was another one. I don't know exactly what this one is. I do know it's Godzilla, obviously, but I was never a big Godzilla kid. But it articulates really well. It's got to be pretty nice, and it's Godzilla. So picked this up for $3. I didn't actually feel like I didn't know what this was worth, so I actually told her to keep the change. I think is right. Is that what I said, or give it?
Yeah,
something like that. I don't remember, but I was like, all right. So we ended up there. I do think that this is going to be. I think that'll have good trade-in bait or good sell bait or something. Second to like last, me and Cheyenne pull up, and this was full of water and didn't even think anything of it.
Like, I'm shocked that cat just doesn't like run over here. That's kind of nice. Those shelves. There's one that doesn't have the nail polish.
The girl wanted like $10 a piece or whatever. I don't know what we'll put in here. It is very, very small. I don't know if it will get used here. I don't know if it will get used anywhere. But what I do think is it will eventually get used. First thoughts come to my mind are my helmet and mug sets. Mini footballs.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. It's my first thought. So I knew, and we didn't know, we were standing there like, what the hell would we use this for? What the hell would we use this for?
It's for nail polish at a nail salon.
It's for nail polish at a nail salon, and Cheyenne, I really think that Cheyenne, if Cheyenne would have wanted to put hers in this, and like, I don't know, but we got this for $3.
Yeah.
It will probably hold my mugs and my thing. In fact, it may even be a spot over there. We'll see. That might actually be a really good idea. Wow. I thought of that on the dome piece. Anyway. So then we get to our second sale. And I'm looking, and I walk up, and there's immediately nothing that I'm like, we're going to get, right? As I'm walking out, now I've seen all of these, as you can see. All of these.
as I'm walking up. But first, you have to understand I have an SUV. I don't have a ton of extra space. And most of the time, people overvalue these, right? Like, most people would have like $20 on this or $15 or whatever, right? So I wasn't going to ask about it, but what I will always do is try and make a bundle deal to make something cheaper. Well, as I'm walking through the end of this, we get to, I see this on the thing in the corner, and I'm like, I know this is worth something, right? And I don't know what it's worth, and maybe it's not worth anything. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But I quickly do AI search. I get to it. I pull it up. Now, it's not perfect, but it is the fastest way for how I've been looking it up. But it's been close enough. And it was a decent value to return, or to get my value back, right? So what do? Well, spring into action and make an offer, right? So I was like, oh, how much? She wants $10. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do $10. But I'll do 5. And then she wouldn't come down. She kept telling me that it's the first day of the sale and that she would go to 8. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'm good with 8. So we bought 8. But as we're walking out, I will always try and make a bundle deal. So I start asking how much for this stuff. And I started with these, and I think she said $3.
We did not start with those. We started with the smaller ones.
No, we did. Oh, no, we started with this.
Yeah.
This one. We started with that one, which is the one I actually wanted. Because I have somewhere I'm going to put it. It makes sense. Yada, yada, yada. And she says $3. And I was like...
They're in good shape for $3.
They're in phenomenal shape for $3, right? I was like, okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll take it. And then I'm springing into action. Well, she has value on that. You know, what would I get for everything? And anyway, it ended up being like $26.
$20 for all of the bins.
Yeah.
And then she would still not go down on the baby.
Yeah.
So $28 total.
Yeah. So then, right, we're in the middle, right, of we get out of that, and then we go to this guy's house. And again, I'm going through my pitch, right? Going through my pitch of you know, you have any video games, yada, yada, yada. And again, these conversations lead to conversations, right? And we're talking about video games, and I was like, I just moved an arcade out of my basement. We had a stacker machine. We probably should do a video on that shit show. But anyway,
I don't have video on that shit show because that was such a shit show. So moving on.
Yeah, that was a process. Wow. That was a process. Anyway, so we're talking about arcades. He goes, the guy next to him kind of taps him and goes, yeah, maybe he should buy your Star Wars. And I immediately thought arcade 1-up, right? Immediately. Anyway, so then he's like, he thought I said arcade. I think he thought I said arcade game, and I said arcade 1-up. So we were on different pages. And then he said the sit-down one, and I was like, oh, he has the sit-down arcade 1-up Star Wars. That's really cool. Because I don't have the sit-down one. I only have the stand-up one, right? I didn't really want to rebuy it when it became the sit-down. Plus, it takes up a lot more space. But I was like, oh, that's crazy. That's really cool. And then he's talking about I would take an offer on it. So I think that we're talking about the arcade 1-up. So he's like, if you want to come down and see it in the basement. Hello. Good morning. Any old video games?
Oh, sorry, no.
No.
No video games at all. Those went a few garage sales.
Yeah. Yeah, they tend to.
Yeah, our garage sales are pretty small.
That means they're working though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go to the King Kong toy show last Sunday?
I couldn't. I wanted to.
You know what
I do. Oh yeah. I have a pretty big arcade in my basement.
What? Oh, actually, you mean me. I've got a sit-down Star Wars.
Oh, arcade 1-up?
Yeah, except it needs a little work.
How much did you want for it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what it's worth. I've actually, well, it's worth something, but it's not worth something. I mean, if you're willing to risk your life in my basement, I'll totally.
Does it work?
At the moment, it does. There was a power surge, so it gets partway through the startup cycle.
And then he said, yeah, when I got it years and years ago, and I was like, oh, this is not the arcade one-up. This is the Star Wars sit-down. And this man had the original, not the double one, but the single wide arcade, I don't know what year it was, 90s, maybe 90s? I don't know. It was original, blue paint. It was in great shape, but it didn't turn on. It got stuck up on the startup. It is going to be tough to get out. He wants $800. I think I could get him down to $500. I really believe I could get him to $500. I'll be honest with you. I think if I came with $400 and said I'll move it and get it out of here, he would take $400. He will never get it out. It will sit there, right? And I think that he's aware of that, and I think he would want it out. It just doesn't start, and I don't know enough about it, so I sent it over to some people. I sent it over to some people to see if maybe they want it. I don't think it would be hard to fix. I think it's a power supply issue. He's fairly confident it's a power supply issue. I'm fairly confident I could change out the power supply because I'm 99.9% sure it runs right through the CRT port or onto the port through that, and it's just you follow the wire down. So I think it would be easy. I just don't have the confidence or the time or the storage to do that. That somebody's going to get a great deal on that if that ever in conversation passes. And I bet there are a lot of people who would have bought that today had they just had that conversation. Maybe he did, but I have his number. I got to think about what I want to do. That is something that you will never, ever, ever, ever have the chance to buy again. And I think it would be cool to own for a little bit, and then I would immediately get rid of it. I don't have the space. I don't have as cool as it would be. And if I had like a finished basement right now and I could just plug it and play it and be done, it would obviously be a difference. But I don't love the Star Wars games. I don't love and I'm sure someone's gonna be like, oh, you could mod it. I could mod it, but I don't really want to. It's just not. I don't play it. I don't play the arcade one-ups enough to justify that being an arcade that I would have in my house. So it was really cool. As we're walking out, we go out of his house. We're halfway through his garage, and I was like, I saw he was a huge Disney guy. Huge guy. Like he probably had.
This corner wall was filled with Disney pins.
Like filled.
All ceiling to floor.
Yeah, and he was like, and you could tell
it was awesome. Yeah.
That was his special ones.
It was awesome. Yeah.
They were huge Disney collectors, yada yada yada. And I saw what were big figs as I'm walking out. And I have an obsession with the big fig figment with the paintbrush. I've had it in my eBay cart from probably 10 years. Not maybe the exact same one, but it has bounced around in my cart for years. It is really cool looking. It is a grail of figment. It is something that I've always kind of wanted to get. I just could never justify the price for it. It is a ton of money, and the value to me doesn't make sense for me. So anyway, I'm walking through and I'm like, what is the actual value of Big Fig, right? Like what am I looking for? Because I do think there's an untapped market for me, because I think if I knew what I was kind of like looking for, or what I think they would run into them more often if I knew and understood it. But he didn't really understand the value of it. You could tell that he was a collector, and that's awesome, right? But he had a pretty big Donald the Duck Big Fig collection. His wife had the ghosts, the walking ghosts from Haunted Mansion, which was cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It
was a pretty cool collection.
Very cool people.
Very cool people. Awesome. And very, very, very helpful. I mean, I was asked a question about their Big Figs. That's a lot of people ask, why do you go to the rummage sales, right? But it's to get some good deals and to be able to make a little bit of a profit and do some side stuff. But it's also about like meeting with people, right? one of our last sales the other day, I had bought, we'll get into this, maybe this will be a video we do at one point, but the story of the Space Jam in Goodwill. And anyway, I bought this, it was a Hot Shots. If you know what Hot Shots are, maybe Shane can insert a picture, or maybe she can't, I don't know, but it's Space Jam Hot Shot, and it was complete in box, and he was buying it from Goodwill. Anyway, I ended up buying it from him in the parking lot afterwards, because I wanted that. And me and him had kind of met each other and do a couple Goodwills, and he's a really good guy, right? So me and him had a conversation, and as I walk up, and he goes, "What's up, Space Jam guy?" And it was cool, right? Because it's like, you know, he knew who I was, and I immediately knew who he was, and it was just kind of cool, and that's kind of why that's why I do what I do, right? That's why I want to go out and I like to do that kind of stuff. So now, this guy, favorite purchase of the day, probably the not the best purchase. We'll see what happens. I've got to mess around with it. I know nothing about it. I know I've wanted one for forever. Why I want one, I have no idea. Dead ass have no clue why I want one. But I want one. It is a pressure washer. We're going through this estate sale. And there's, again, nothing for us, right? We're walking through and we go to this garage, right? And immediately I see the pressure washer. And I said, pressure washer. And in that moment, Cheyenne went, oh no. Because we both knew I was leaving with the pressure washer, right? He had $40 on it. I offered him 20. Well, I actually offered her 20. She texted somebody, said, "Yep, we're all in." And I was like, "That's ours." I don't know if we just go.
Says, come on in.
Wait, garage sale.
Should we start down here?
Yeah. I don't know.
There's somebody.
I don't know what's going on.
I bet this is the garage to this house.
You guys open? It's in the house too? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, let's say there's no way they got this thing popped up and nobody's out here.
I want to buy it.
You cannot have it. What would you do? Just have it in your front yard all the time?
It'd be great.
Hi.
Hey, how are you guys?
You guys open?
Yeah, we
Oh,
are.
perfect.
Sorry, yeah. We have the door open and then,
Oh no,
you
you're
know.
good. You're good. Any old video games?
I do not.
No.
Sorry. No video games.
Don't you have that?
That's pretty cool.
I thought you had something like that.
Yeah, my mom was 96. She didn't play too many
Is there any video games?
I mean, it looks good.
Oh,
Go on. Walk away with your pressure washer. Go clean that driveway.
spread them.
I actually don't know what you use pressure washers for.
Me either. I'll find out. Pressure wash it.
Get her in there.
We're in.
We're coming close.
So what?
Having no room. That's not even as bad as before.
No. But you know what we have? Got a pressure washer. And that is the best purchase of the day. Why? I don't know. But what I do know is if I need something pressure washed, I got a pressure washer. So, anyway, this was our day one pickups. I actually don't think I'm going to put anything away. Not going to lie to you. Thanks guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll talk to you guys real soon.